Rotterdam often appears on cruise itineraries as a stop in the Netherlands, but the first decision you'll need to make here is surprisingly important. Do you stay in Rotterdam itself, or travel somewhere else? Amsterdam is only about an hour away by train, which is why many cruise passengers choose to head there for the day. But Rotterdam is also one of the easiest cruise ports in Northern Europe to explore independently. So in this video, I'll walk you through 10 things you need to know about visiting Rotterdam on a cruise, including how easy it is to get around, whether Amsterdam is worth the trip, and what you can realistically see if you decide to stay in the city itself. Cruise ships dock at the cruise terminal Rotterdam on the Wilhelminapier, right in the heart of the city. Unlike many European cruise ports that sit inside industrial harbour areas, Rotterdam's terminal is located within a modern waterfront district, surrounded by hotels, restaurants and office buildings. The terminal building itself is a historic departure hall where Holland America Line ships once carried passengers across the Atlantic to New York. Today, it has been renovated into a modern cruise facility. Once you step off the ship, you're already within walking distance of several landmarks, including the Erasmus Bridge, which connects the cruise terminal area with the main city centre across the river. Most passengers leaving the terminal naturally turn left towards the bridge or the nearby metro station. However, if you turn right instead, you'll reach the historic Hotel New York building, which was once the headquarters of Holland America Line during the great era of transatlantic crossings. There's also a small maritime-themed park here, and it's a good spot for photos with views of your ship, the Erasmus Bridge and the skyline across the river. The biggest decision for most cruise passengers visiting Rotterdam is whether to explore the city itself or travel somewhere else. Because Rotterdam has excellent transport connections, both options are very realistic. You can easily spend the day exploring Rotterdam, visiting places like the Cube Houses, the Markthal, and the historic Old Harbour area. But Rotterdam is also a major transport hub, which means it's very easy to travel further afield. Amsterdam is about an hour away by train, and other cities, such as Delft and The Hague, are even closer. Some cruise itineraries even include an overnight stay in Rotterdam. Cruise lines such as P&O Cruises occasionally schedule overnight calls here, which means you can explore Rotterdam one day and visit Amsterdam or another Dutch city the next. One of the advantages of Rotterdam as a cruise port is how easy it is to get around. You have several different transport options, and most of them are located within a few minutes of the cruise terminal. The nearest metro station is Wilhelminapier, about a 5-minute walk from the terminal entrance. From here, you can reach Rotterdam Centraal Station in under 10 minutes, which connects to trains across the Netherlands. Walking is also very straightforward. Crossing the Erasmus Bridge takes about 10 minutes, and from there you're already in the main shopping and cultural areas of the city. Rotterdam also has a network of water taxis that travel along the river and harbour, offering a scenic and often very quick way to move around the city. Because of these options, exploring Rotterdam independently is generally very easy with just a little planning. Many cruise passengers choose to travel from Rotterdam to Amsterdam during their port stop. The journey usually involves taking the metro or tram to Rotterdam Centraal Station and then catching a train to Amsterdam Centraal. The train journey itself takes around 40 to 60 minutes depending on the service. Cruise lines also offer organized shore excursions to Amsterdam, which can be a simpler option if you prefer not to arrange transport yourself. Either way, Amsterdam is very achievable during a Rotterdam port stop, but it does involve some travel time. If you're planning to do this independently, I've made a separate guide showing exactly how to travel from Rotterdam Cruise Port to Amsterdam step by step, including which trains to take and how long everything takes. If you decide to visit Amsterdam during your cruise stop, the key is to keep your plans simple. One important tip is that tickets for the Anne Frank house usually sell out weeks in advance. If visiting the museum is a priority, it's best to book tickets before your cruise, often around 6 weeks ahead, and plan to go there first once you arrive in the city. Another easy way to experience Amsterdam is by taking a canal cruise. Many canal tour boats depart close to Amsterdam Central Station and typically last about an hour, allowing you to see a large part of the historic canal district from the water. I'll also add a couple of links in the description for canal tours and other Amsterdam experiences, so you can see what's available before your cruise. You can also spend time simply exploring the city centre on foot. From the train station, it's an easy walk to places like Dam Square, the main canals, and the historic streets surrounding the old city. With a few hours available, focusing on one area like this usually works better than trying to see too much. If you decide to stay in Rotterdam, there are several well-known sites that are easy to reach from the cruise terminal. One of the most famous is the Cube Houses, a collection of tilted cube-shaped homes designed by architect Piet Blom. These unusual buildings sit above Blok Metro Station, and one of the houses is open to visitors as a small museum where you can see what the interior looks like. Right beside the cube houses, you'll find the Old Harbour, known as Oudhaven, a historic waterfront area filled with cafes, restaurants, and old boats. Another popular stop is the Markthal, a huge indoor food market that sits just a few minutes away. Inside, you'll find dozens of food stalls, restaurants, and cafes, as well as a huge artwork covering the ceiling, known as the Horn of Plenty. A short distance away, you'll also find Museum Park, home to several of Rotterdam's major museums. One of the most unusual buildings here is the Depot Boijmans van Beuningen, a mirrored bowl-shaped building covered in reflective glass panels. Even if you don't go inside, the outside is worth seeing because the mirrored surface reflects the surrounding park and skyline, and it's a fun place to take photos. Other sites in Rotterdam include the Euromast Observation Tower, the preserved ocean liner SS Rotterdam, and the historic district of Delft, which survived the bombing of the city during the Second World War. If you'd like an easy way to explore Rotterdam during your cruise stop, one simple route starts by heading to Blaak Station. You can reach Blaak either by taking the metro from Wilhelminaplein near the cruise terminal, which crosses the Erasmus Bridge, or by traveling there by water taxi. From Blaak, you can walk straight to the cube houses, explore the Old Harbour, and then continue a few minutes further to the Markthal. All three of these sites are within about 5 minutes of each other, making it a very convenient area to explore. Afterwards, you can continue towards Museum Park, where several of Rotterdam's main museums are located. From there, you can walk back towards the river and cross the Erasmus Bridge, which brings you back to the cruise terminal area. Most of this route is completely free, unless you choose to enter the Cube House Museum or one of the museums in Museum Park. Another interesting way to see Rotterdam is by using one of the city's water taxis. These small boats travel along the river and can take you to different parts of the harbour area much faster than travelling by road. Water taxis depart from several points along the river, including near the Hotel New York building close to the cruise terminal. It's a fun experience in itself and also gives you excellent views of the Rotterdam skyline, the Erasmus Bridge, and your cruise ship from the water. If you'd prefer to visit another Dutch city instead of Amsterdam, there are several good options close to Rotterdam. Delft is one of the most popular choices and can be reached in about 15 minutes by train. It's a traditional Dutch town known for its famous blue and white Delft pottery. The Hague is another nearby option, about 25 minutes by train, and is home to the Dutch Parliament and the Peace Palace, as well as the Mauritshuis Museum. There are also other places within easy reach, including the famous windmills at Kinderdijk, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, about 40 minutes from Rotterdam. The area is home to 19 historic windmills set along canals and waterways, and it's one of the best places in the Netherlands to see the traditional Dutch landscape. To reach these places, you'll normally travel from Rotterdam Central Station. Because train journeys between Dutch cities are short and frequent, several of these destinations can work well as day trips from Rotterdam. If you're traveling with children, another option to consider is Rotterdam Zoo. It's one of the largest zoos in the Netherlands and can easily fill several hours. The zoo sits close to Rotterdam Central Station, so it's straightforward to reach by metro or tram from the cruise terminal. The final thing to remember is to leave yourself enough time to return to the cruise ship. If you're exploring Rotterdam itself, this is usually straightforward because the cruise terminal sits right in the city. However, if you travel to Amsterdam or another Dutch city, make sure you allow extra time for the journey back to Rotterdam Central, and then for the metro or tram ride back to the cruise terminal. Giving yourself a little buffer time can help avoid unnecessary stress towards the end of the day. Rotterdam is a very easy cruise port to explore, but many passengers still choose to travel to Amsterdam during their visit. If you're thinking of doing that independently, the next thing you'll want to watch is my guide, showing exactly how to get from Rotterdam Cruise Port to Amsterdam step by step. That video is on screen now.